Qatar, which financed and harbor of Hamas leaders, could influence and enable the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages.
Qatar's relationship with Hamas, the Palestinian armed group and political organization, has been a complex and contentious issue in international politics. Over the years, Qatar has maintained political and financial ties with Hamas, raising concerns and drawing criticism from several countries, particularly in the Middle East, and sparking debates about the nature of these relations and their implications on regional stability. Hamas was founded by the Egyptian branch of Muslim Brotherhood during the First Intifada, the Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation, and continues violations of international law. Since its inception, Hamas has been involved in various conflicts with Israel, advocating for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state in the Gaza Strip, West Bank, and East Jerusalem. Qatar's involvement with Hamas dates back to the early 2000s. The Qatari government has supported Hamas both politically and financially, aiming to bolster the organization's social and infrastructure programs in the Gaza Strip. Qatar's support has included financial aid, humanitarian assistance, and funding for reconstruction projects, all of which are meant to alleviate the dire living conditions in the Palestinian territories, especially in Gaza, where the population has been subjected to a blockade and frequent conflicts with Israel. One aspect of Qatar's relationship with Hamas is its political engagement with the organization. Qatar has acted as a mediator in intra-Palestinian reconciliation efforts, aiming to bring about unity among various Palestinian factions, including Hamas and Fatah, the political party ruling the West Bank. Qatar's mediation attempts have been aimed at resolving internal divisions within the Palestinian leadership, with the ultimate goal of presenting a unified front in negotiations with Israel. Qatar's diplomatic efforts have not been limited to internal Palestinian affairs. The country has also engaged in international diplomacy involving Hamas. Qatar has facilitated talks and negotiations between Hamas leaders and international actors, including the United States and other Western countries, in an attempt to promote dialogue and reach a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But Qatar's support Hamas has not been without controversy. Several countries, including Israel, the United States, Egypt, and some Gulf states, have labeled Hamas as a terrorist organization due to its history of conflicts with Israel. As a result, Qatar's relationship with Hamas has been a source of tension and disagreement in the region. Your critics argue that Qatar's support for Hamas undermines efforts to achieve peace in the Middle East, or in other words, Qatar should give up in the Palestinian cause. Some countries have severed or downgraded their diplomatic ties with Qatar due to its support for Hamas, contributing to regional divisions. Qatar's defense, despite international criticism, Qatar has defended its relationship with Hamas. Qatari officials have consistently stated that their engagement with Hamas is part of their broader commitment to addressing the humanitarian crisis in the Palestinian territories. They argue that supporting Hamas helps improve living conditions for Palestinians in Gaza, where basic necessities such as electricity, clean water, and medical supplies are often scarce due to the blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt. Qatar also emphasizes the importance of dialogue and negotiations in resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Qatari government believes that engaging with all relevant parties, including Hamas, is essential to fostering a peaceful resolution. Qatar's approach contrasts with that of some other countries in the region, which have chosen to isolate Hamas diplomatically. Qatar's support for Hamas needs to be understood within the context of its broader foreign policy objectives. Qatar has pursued an independent and assertive foreign policy, often diverging from the positions held by its Gulf neighbors, particularly Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. This divergence has led to regional tensions, including the blockade imposed on Qatar by several Arab countries in 2017, which further complicated Qatar's relations with Hamas.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
While Qatar engagement to Hamas as a means to address the humanitarian crisis and promote dialogue, The controversy surrounding this relationship underscores the complexities of Middle Eastern politics and the challenges of achieving lasting peace in the region. Qatar's approach to Hamas, like its broader foreign policy, continues to evolve, shaped by regional dynamics, international pressures, and the pursuit of its strategic interests.